Hello, everybody. Welcome to my live. Thank you for joining me. I am back from vacation, ready to have some fun stamping again, if I can remember how. It's been 2 weeks since I've been live, so thank you for joining me. If you're joining me either now on the live or on the replay, I appreciate you watching. It was a nice sunny evening in San Antonio. It was 99 degrees driving home from work, so toasty for sure. But I think it's hot in a lot of parts of the country right now, right? A lot of people are getting the heat. So, oh well, here we are. My vacation was amazing. Hi, Roz. Thank you. The weather in Hawaii was fabulous. It was a little hot on the beach sometimes, but you know, there's always the trade winds that come, so there's always a nice breeze. So, you know, perfect weather. I guess you can always expect that in Hawaii, right? That's how it is there. It's just perfect. Anyway, lots of fun. Happy to spend time with the kids, the grandkids. You know, it was just the best. I got to see my mom, my brothers who live there. So it was a lot of good family fun. So anyway, I feel refreshed. I got home yesterday afternoon. We flew overnight, Sunday to Monday, and went back to work today. And here we are. I'm happy to be live again. All right, so you guys, tonight we're going to have some more fun with the Sweet Jar Bundle, which is a stamp set and a punch. My last live, I'll show you, I'll turn the camera around in a minute and show you what we did on my last live, which was like an addition to that bundle. But once I started making the cards, I had to go back and use the Sweet Jar, which I hadn't used before because it was so darn cute. All right, so I'm gonna switch my camera around and let's start making some cards. All right, so I was excited last time because I had gotten a new phone. And I was able to zoom in, and then I realized later, oh, well, okay, well, it zoomed in my phone, but it really didn't transfer over to the Facebook Live, so it made it worse and further away. So we're just gonna go back to what we were kind of doing before, so I think that'll work okay. All right, I'm trying to get myself to come up here, and I'm not having much luck. There we go. That way I can see comments while we're doing this. Okay, perfect. Couple things going on with Stampin' Up. It's Tuesday, so we always get our announcements on Tuesdays. And next week, starting August 5th, we have another promotion, and that's going to be 15% off in-color products. And I was kind of taking a look online this morning and saw that it's not just like the in color, like the stamp pads and the inks and stuff. It's some of the coordinating designer series paper and other products. I think even some paper pumpkin. Thank you, Sharon. Hello. Even some of like the paper pumpkin refill type things. So check it out. It starts the 5th, which I think is next Tuesday. So that's going to be fun. Last week there was a promotion for free shipping, and I missed it. I meant to, you know, I was thinking about it on Friday. I'd put a few things in my cart. It's a good time always to stock up on like essentials. And then, you know, with vacation, we were just busy and I just couldn't do it. I missed it. So kind of bummed that I missed the sale. Just a reminder, these kits that came out are just adorable. This birthday fancy kit is just amazing. And this Halloween kit. Now I cannot wait to put these together. Just to give you, if you haven't gotten these yet, just to give you a little bit of a sneak peek here. I mean, they are just amazing. Here's some instructions. This is the birthday one. This is Birthday Fancy Kit, and it gives you some instructions. I don't know if you can kind of see what the cards look like. But, I mean, they're gold embossed. And you have all these beautiful little cakes on cake stands that you can put in like these little scalloped pieces. And of course a stamp set that goes with it. I think it's Lost Lagoon ink, was it? Lost Lagoon is the ink. I mean, you get so many things in these kits and they're relatively inexpensive and you get to make the cards. So that's fun. And of course, the other thing we have is the Sweet and Spooky kit, and I'm dying to put these kits together, but obviously I just haven't had time yet, but oh my goodness, I can't wait to put these together. This little Halloween kit, look at these little teeny tiny orange, I don't know if you can see with the glare, paper clips and these rhinestone stars. I mean, this is just going to be so cute. Look at what we can make with this, these little treat bags, which are perfect for giving out on Halloween. Hi, Lisa. So take a look at these kits. You might like them. I bought 2 of the Halloween kits. Can't wait to make these things. And I was thinking today, is that enough? Should I have gotten 3? I don't know. Can't wait to start making that stuff. Now, tomorrow, if you're a demonstrator, we get to take a look in advance. Hi, Renee. In advance. Oh, thank you, guys. It was a really great time. It was good. New catalog. Sneak peek if you're a demonstrator tomorrow, right, at 2 p.m. on the 30th. So I'm excited to see the catalog. You guys excited to see the catalog? It should be fun. I'm trying to think, is there anything else going on with Stampin' Up! Right now? Nothing that I can think of. If I think of something, I'll mention it later. Okay, you guys, so last live, these are the cards that we did. We used the other set, which was Jar of Joy, and we made some Christmas cards, right? We made this one, we made the little snowman one, we made this one with the ornaments, and then we made this cute little treat jar. So thank you for everyone who got the kits that we did. And then, like I said, I couldn't stop because it was so cute. So I went back to the sweet jar kit, and these are the cards we're going to make tonight. Oh, thank you so much. So we're going to make this happy birthday card with the little chocolate chip cookie jars. So cute, right? I mean, who thinks of this stuff? I'm just wondering, like, who designs these stamp sets? It's amazing. And then we have this one, sending a little love your way. So this one has the hearts in it. Fun. You can see we're kind of going back to some of this paper that we had before. Going back to a lot of different things that we had before. And then we have a little sending luck your way. So who doesn't need shamrock stamps, right? And we did a little rainbow with the arches dies. So that's super fun. And then this one, we're getting really colorful here, right? With a happy birthday card with the candles in the jar. And that's it. And this one says, sending a little party your way, right? Okay, so let's get going on cards. Let's see if I can still remember how to make cards. And hopefully I didn't mess this up in any way. I got home yesterday. I had already had like the PDF done. The things were cut. So I just had to kind of put everything together to get ready for my live yesterday. And I hope I have everything. Okay, so this is the bundle that I'm talking about. This is the Sweet Jar stamp set. And you can see it's got a bunch of mix and match sentiments, and then all these little stamps, pardon me, and we're going to be using most of these stamps today. And then this coordinates with the punch, all right, and it just cuts out the lid and the jar. So we'll be using that. Just if you were interested in the other one too, the one we used last week was the Jar of Joy, and that's more of the Christmas one. Okay. All right. So for this first card right here, the other thing that we're going to be using are these Nested Essentials dies, and I'm using this one right here, this larger one at the bottom. And then, of course, my favorite Stylish Shapes dies for the banner, keeping a nice, simple stitched banner. All right, so here's our pieces. And you guys, I am offering a kit this week. I will send it to you free if you spend $50 or more at my Stampin' Up! Website and name me as your demonstrator for this order. Or I also sell them separately for $22 if you don't want to place an order. So just FYI, if you want the kit. When I show you the things that come out of the envelopes, this is how it's going to come to you, right? So it's going to be in a white envelope. It's going to come to you with these pieces already done. And then you'll just make it the same way we're making it on the air. Okay, so I have this piece. This is just a quarter piece of cards. It's actually 5 1/4 by 4. We're going to do our stamping on here. This is our card base. And this card base is Misty Moonlight. And it's 8 1/2 by 5 1/2 square to 4 1/4. And we have our 5 1/4 by 4 inside. So this is going to be the inside. Now, I took some designer series paper. And this, do you guys recognize this? It's called Timeless Plaid. And it's got all these beautiful plaid colors in it. All these different ones. Aren't they pretty? I love the colors in here. So I thought this would be a good one. I kind of like the colors in here. So this piece right here is 5 1/4 by 4 and of the Timeless Plaid. And then I have 5 1/4 by 3/4 because this is going to open this way. So we're going to put this along the bottom here. Okay. So let's get out some seal. And I don't think I did anything else on the inside. Nope. So let's, as long as we have our pieces out, let's put them down, right? Hold on. I've got to fix things over here. Okay. So how's everybody doing? I missed y'all. Is everybody doing fine? How's your summer going? Everybody staying cool? Having some fun? You guys, the travel this year, I can't believe how much I've traveled. I have another business trip on Wednesday and Thursday next week. I was going to take off Friday and stay because it's in Chicago and stay, but you know, frankly, I'm out of PTO at work and I'm out of money. So I'm like, I'm just going to do the business trip and come home. So that's what's happening next week. But so that way I can still be live next week too, because I'll be home over the weekend. So I feel like I need to just get back to doing the cards, right? It's time to have some fun and get back to stamping. I miss stamping while I'm on vacation. I mean, vacation's awesome. There was one day that, you know, Emmeline, my, I'm just centering this and adhering it down. Emmeline is my granddaughter. She's 4. And she was in, we did Verbo, so we did condos. And we were 2 floors apart. So she was in our condo and she was looking in the door. She said, Grandma, she said, did you bring any cards that we can make? And I actually did not because, you know, if I'm going to be honest, I had 3 suitcases and Rick had 1. And if I would have brought Stampin' stuff, I feel like I would have needed another suitcase. So this is the one trip I didn't bring any Stampin' stuff on. And she was ready to do some cards. All right, so this Misty Moonlight ribbon comes in a 2-pack and it comes with white. So it's kind of a nice woven ribbon, if you can see it up close. So I'm using that because it coordinates nicely. I'm just going to tie it around and tie a bow right at the very edge. And truthfully, we really didn't have any downtime. It was crazy. I do not know how to take a relaxing vacation. I just don't. And I think Nicole is just like me. And it was crazy. Like, we would get up at 7 o'clock in the morning, you know, like meet downstairs at 7 o'clock. So we'd get up at 5:30 or whatever. And we'd meet at 7 o'clock down in the lobby and go to breakfast. You know, this was just a couple of days. Or go wherever we were going to go that day. And be on the beach by 8:30. We're just, I know, we're a little nuts. We're just a little bit nuts. You know, we just had activities constantly. But, so, come home, go back to work and relax, right? All right, let's just put this piece. We're going to go ahead and finish our, I know, Lisa, kits are awesome for travel. Could I have fit 1 kit in? I'm not really sure. My suitcases were pretty packed. But what I should have done, if we had a minute to craft, was brought the Halloween kit, because Emmeline loves Halloween and she really, really would have loved to make some of those cute little Halloween things. For sure. Okay, so I'm just going to put this on with some dimensionals, and then pretty much our background's going to be ready and we'll do some stamping. All right, there we go. Just like that, nice and simple. Okay, so let's do some stamping. Ugh, did I already get that dirty? Interesting. I'm going to start with Memento Black, and I'm going to use the one that we make ourselves. You love Halloween too. I do too, Lisa. It's one of my favorites. We all love Halloween. All right, we're going to take the jar stamp, and we're going to stamp 3 jars. Just like that. All right, next, let's do the cookies. Oh, now you can either use, this is the Memento Black to do the happy birthday on here, but I think what I actually used was Misty Moonlight to coordinate. So either one is fine. Whatever you want to use is fine. I'm going to do Misty Moonlight again. So let me find the happy birthday. Is that an illusion or is that like wavy. I'm going to take it off and remount it. And let me just make sure that it's lined up so it's straight. Because otherwise... All right, are you guys still there? For a minute, it went off and it said, thank you. It said, trying to reconnect. And I was like, oh no. All right, so we have this cute little, it almost looks like jelly beans. These are our cookies. I'm gonna stamp them in crumb cake. See if I can center them in the jars. It's making me hungry for chocolate chip cookie, which I don't currently have. All right, I'm gonna do the little chocolate chips in early espresso. Now, there's two ways to do this, so let me make sure I line this up right. I think it goes like this. I'm gonna pull it down, sorry you guys, I need to see a little bit better. Okay, can you see? Let me pull this up so you can see how that's stamped. Our little chocolate chips right on top. I think Easton had a good time too. You know, he's only, well, like a year and a half, a year and 7 months. I don't know, something like that. But he seemed to have a good time and enjoy it. Of course, kids love sand, right? Okay, so there we go. There's our cookies in our cookie jars. Next, I'm going to take the smoky slate and stamp 3 of the lids. So I have the lid stamp right here. And we'll see how I can get these. I know I'm doing this wrong because there's a better way to do this so it... so you're able to punch it better, right? But let me start by cutting this out. Just taking the lids and putting them aside. These are easy to punch out. Which set do you guys like better? Do you like this one better or the Christmas one better? Kind of on the fence, but actually I kind of like both, but I really like this one. This one might be my favorite. I like colorful too. I like things to be colorful. Okay, there's our cookie jars. Let's see how we can do this. One. I'm going to just clip these off as I go then. One more. Do I need a little Post-it tape for this one. I'm laughing at your comments, you guys. Cute comments. Ross said it's like asking to choose a favorite child about the jars. That's cute. Very, very funny. Okay, there we go. There's our pieces. I'm going to save my Post-it tape because I'm sure I'm going to need it again. Okay, so I'm just going to glue these straight on my jars. Just the lids like straight on, not crooked or anything. So let me get my glue started. Yeah, Renee, yes. You can draw stamp anything you want in each inside. So yeah, what are some other good ideas for stamping stuff that's not even, you know, that's outside of the box, outside of the kit? I'm sure there's some really cute ideas for what else you could put in these jars, right? Super fun. trying to keep my glue mess to a minimum. I feel like I'm moving slow tonight. I don't know why. All right, let's finish this card up. All right, so this one, I'm just going to use a little seal and put this one right in the middle. Kind of sticking up a bit. And then we'll just pop the other two up. My nails are a mess. I probably won't be able to get those done till Thursday. So I apologize for my nails being so messy. All right, so let's pop up our happy birthday. And we'll just put this one a little bit off to the side like that. Okay, I didn't get crazy. You could add an embellishment if you wanted to, but I felt like there was enough on this card that I didn't have to really put anything on it. But anyway, there you go. Nice and easy, right? There's our first card with the set. Okay, next we went for the hearts, and we did this one. Oh, thank you. Thanks, Lisa. These were the chrome and the pink. They're pretty grown out, pretty crazy, but sending a little love your way. Okay, so going back, using these heart dies, right? Hearts of Elegance dies. So I use these 3 dies right here, these 2 cutouts, and then this one that has a little bit of stitching on it, which I really like, and did that one in the gold. So let's pull these out. Here's our pieces. Okay, so we went with Melon Mambo cardstock, basic card base, which I use all the time. Oh, you're so sweet, Renee. 8.5, 5.5, scored a 4 1/4. Again, 5 1/4 by 4 for the inside. The only thing I did on the inside is we're going to stamp some hearts and do a little bit with this extra piece of DSP. Okay, so I have 2 pieces of this DSP, and this is the Hearts of Elegance DSP. You may remember it. It's got the lovely gold on it, which is beautiful, and nice swirly patterns. So this is 5 1/4 by 2.5, and then I have 5 1/4 by 3/4 for the inside. All right, so I think we can just start layering on the outside. All I did for this one is just use a little bit of seal, and we're going to just leave kind of an even border on the edge right here, just like that. Okay. All right. So this is going to be for our jar. I have this heart, which is pretty and pink. This is cut out. You'll get this in your kit if you get it. So I'm going to put that aside because that's going to stay plain. We're going to stamp on this as well. We have the gold foil heart, which we're going to use. And then I'm just going to take this other piece of gold foil cardstock and just punch a gold lid out. All right, so we've got that ready to go. All right, so let's do our stamping. Now we have to stamp in, like, I think about 4 different places. Let's start first with, we're going to do a little bit of embossing. So let me get out my Versamark. Oops, that's not it. Hold on. That's not it. Okay. And we're going to use gold embossing powder. So I want to kind of leave it on this side because I'm going to have the gold heart over here. And I'm going to do Sending a Little Love. And then you can see there's a space. There's going to be a space that we can put whatever we want in there. And this time we're going to do Love and Melon Mambo. So sending a little blank your way. So let's stamp that in Versamark right here. And then get out our gold embossing powder. And where's my little handy dandy reverse tweezers, so I don't stick my finger in there. Let's see. For some reason it's not holding on too well. All right. How's that look? I think that looks pretty good. All right, let's get our heat tool. Okay, can you see that up close then? Sending a little blank your way. Let's get our Melon Mambo and pick out the one that says love. See if I can center it in there. It's a little warped too because we did the heat embossing, so I'm going to bring it way down. I know you can't see, but I need to try and get it on there. Okay, just like that. All right, it's not exactly perfect, but it'll do. Okay, let's do a jar. Now on this one, I also actually did some heat embossing for the jar. You could do it in black. You could stamp it in black if you want to. But I thought it was a little bit fancier if we just kind of stuck with the gold theme. So let me clean off my stamp and we'll Versamark this too. A lot of powder floating around here. All right, here we go again. All right, you can see I've got a couple little things that need to go away. So I'm just going to use my brush. And not try and get too picky, because when I get too picky, I always end up messing something up. I think that's pretty good. All right, let's do this again. Okay, you see how pretty that turned out? Let me see if you can see the gold in it. Very, very pretty. All right. Okay, so for the inside, we're going to take Pretty in Pink, and they give you a little bit of a background. So, hold on, let me find it. Yes, right here. So you got kind of a background, so it's almost like hearts, or it could be shamrocks or whatever. So I'm just going to kind of do this background in Pretty in Pink right here. It's a little bumpy, huh? I don't know about my Pretty in Pink. Okay, back to this one, and we've got these beautiful hearts. So these are the hearts for our jar. So we'll stamp these right on top. All right, can you guys see how we did there? Cute, right? Okay, now I want to take, you also get a couple of these other, this one has 3 hearts, this one has 2 hearts, so we're just going to do a little bit of stamping. All right, this one's done. we're going to take our card base right here, and I want to stamp some up here. And we're also going to put, I kind of want to have it kind of looks a little bit like, let's punch this out so I can show you. Like, some of the hearts are kind of floating out of the jar type thing, you know what I mean? So, hold on. I want to get it pretty good. Okay, so this is going to go here. This is going to go here, a little bit off to the side. All right, so we kind of want to stamp these like they're maybe kind of coming out a little bit, so like that. Let me do another one here. We'll do a 2 right here, okay? And then we'll just keep going in the background, kind of going up. And I'm just going to do some of the 3s. And then we can fill in with some of the 2s. I guess we don't want to get crazy, right? Do too many. I think that's enough. Okay. So let's put this down first. And that's going to go right here. And this powder's driving me crazy. Okay, this can be popped up. So our jar will go right here at the bottom of our heart. Hold on. Kind of trying to line it up a little bit with the hearts. Okay. All right. Let's add, I'm going to put a little bit of sticky, maybe right on the corner of here, and put it like that. So it's kind of off to the side. Now we've got this one, which we're also going to do flat right here. Let me just get a little bit. Hold on, I need my little sand eraser just to see if I have a couple little dots left over from doing the embossing. We don't want those to show up. Just cleaning it up a little. That one gets tucked under just a little bit right here. All right, and then we'll pop this beautiful gold foil heart up. Right about here. Now we have a little bit of room on the side to do a little bit of the gold ribbon. So we're just going to tie this along the side. Now let me make sure that I get it straight inside, because I hate when it gets all twisted inside. And how much do I need? I have used this gold and silver trim so much. I'm gonna, actually, I want this to come down a little bit because I want my bow to be right about here. And clearly I wasted some trim here. But let's bring it right about here. Okay. Now, let me just curl this up a little bit so I can just adjust it exactly where I want it. Okay, I think that's pretty good. Okay, next, let's do the inside. And I should have already done that while we were doing this, right? So on the inside, we did just some more of those hearts. So let's put this down first, then we can see where to place our hearts. And we'll do those again in Melon Mambo. And let's see, we'll do the 3s. One here and one there. Then you can write anything that you like in there. Happy anniversary. Happy Valentine's Day. Hope you're feeling good. Whatever you would like. Look at, I twisted it. Can you believe that after I tried not to? Ay, ay, ay. Well, I can always retie that. Okay, let's add some more embellishments. So we need some of these hearts. These are the adhesive backed heart sequins. These are on last chance. They're still there when I looked last night or this morning. I think it was last night I looked. So these are still available. And who doesn't need hearts, right? We all need hearts. So pick up these. I'm going to try and pick it up this way. And we're just going to sprinkle some in randomly, kind of in between the other hearts. These come in 3 different sizes. Whoops, we don't want it facing that way. This is a big spot, so we can put a big one there. We'll do another little one. And about a medium one right here. And let's see, maybe a medium one here and one more little one. Okay, there we go, you guys. That's our heart version of this card. There we go. All right, next, let's do the rainbow one. Lisa, which one is the Extraordinary Flora bundle? Is that the one with the washi tape that you're asking about? I don't have my name straight for these things. All right, I need a drink, hold on. Little bit of water. Okay, so we're using the Everyday Arches for this. Let me show you what sizes I used. I think it was the 1, 2, 3, 4th one in. Okay, and you can see when I cut it, I cut off the bottom because I didn't want it to be too big. And then I used every other one. So it was this one, and then this one, and then the smallest one. So you can see which ones I used, okay? If you get the kit, these are all going to be die cut for you already. So you don't have to have these if you get the kit. All right, I tried to use some pretty colors on this one. So, and on the inside, we just did a little bit of shamrocks. Okay, so here's the pieces for this one. This is how they're going to come for you. This time I cut it 11 by 4 1/4 and scored it at 5 1/2. We have 5 1/4 by 4. This is going to be our piece for the inside. We'll put that aside since we're going to stamp. And we're just going to start building. So I have a piece of lemon lime twist right here. And this is 4 1/2 by 3 1/2. And then I just have a piece of basic white cardstock. And this is 4 1/4 by 3 1/4. So this is going to go on here and we're going to stamp some shamrocks. I have our pieces that I cut out. And again, these will be cut out for you. And this is, like I said, I cut off the bottom so it's a little bit shorter. But we have our 4 colors here, and we're going to stamp a couple shamrocks on this. So this is Strawberry Slush, actually. This one is Strawberry Slush, and this is Timid Tiger, and then I have Daffodil Delight and Lemon Lime Twist again. So those are our 4 colors for this. I have a little stylish shaped circle to do our sentiment on, so that's going to get stamped. Let me put these over here. So that's it. Those are our pieces for stamping. This is going to be for our jar. I have a little piece of silver, which again, we're just going to, I guess I threw away my piece of Post-it tape. I'm just going to take our little bit of silver foil and cut out a jar lid. All right, so we've got that. Okay, let's start stamping. So let's start with our jar. And we're going to go back to black for the jar. So let me wash my Versamark off of it. And find my memento that I did in my blank white stamp pad. All right. Next, I did a layer of lemon lime twist. We used a lot of stamp pads on these cards, didn't we? And I'm using that very same background one that I did for the hearts. So let me wash that off. Okay, so lemon lime twist. All right, and let's get out our shamrocks. Now there's two shamrock stamps too. We have the big one for the jar, and then they have a separate little one, which is awesome. We're gonna switch over to some Granny Apple Green and fill the shamrocks in our jar first. Can you guys believe it's gonna be August in a couple days? Oh my goodness. Okay, so this one, I actually added a couple of shamrocks inside the jar to kind of fill it up a little bit more. Those are also in Granny Apple. So here's our finished jar of shamrocks. I put, I stamped a couple of shamrocks on here. So again, it looks like something's, the shamrocks are kind of floating out of our jar a little bit. So I've stamped those two like that. Now on this one, I'm going to stamp all the way around. So let me find a piece of scrap paper. And I'm not going to need the whole inside circle right here because we're going to have arches. So I don't need to get crazy with that, but I'm just going to start over here and just kind of switch them up and make a nice little shamrock pattern going all around. And get some of them off the edges. And I don't want to go too fast because I'm not that great of a stamper and I'll mess them up. See, that one's a little messed up. But hopefully it won't show too much. I have trouble stamping the smaller stamp images. I don't know. I can't get it quite flat sometimes. Okay, we don't need anything else on the bottom because do we need anything else? I feel like that's pretty good. Okay. All right, let's start layering everything else. Oh, wait, we need some, not gonna close that up yet because we need some shamrocks. I just did 3 in the corner for the inside piece. And then I'm gonna also, okay, hand check. Getting green everywhere. I'm also going to okay, just like that. Leave my green out because we need to do one more stamp for the Sending Blank Your Way. This time we're going to put luck. So let me clean this one off. And we're going to stamp that in Memento Black. All right, can you guys see the little circle? And then where's my luck? Here's luck. We're going to do that also in Granny Apple. Hold on, got to pull it down, sorry. Just like that. Okay, we can put it together. Let's do the inside first. I feel like I'm having a trouble staying in the camera with the angle of it this week. All right, let's see. Renee, the black size, the stamp ratio is important because it helps keep it flat. Yes, it's true. And use a smaller block. I try, and I've used pretty much a lot of my blocks right now, so I've tried using the smaller block like I did with the hearts, but I just ran out. I didn't have any more. I only have 4 of those. But you're right, that would have made a big difference. Okay, so let's take our background here and just put it on with seal to our piece of lemon lime twist. Now we can start layering up our arches. And I'm going to put it right to the bottom of the white sheet. Like that. All right, next, Timid Tiger. Daffodil. I do not know what we're going to do next week. I have to think of, there's so many sets I haven't used yet and want to use, so I'm not sure. I got to think of something. Okay, so here's how it looks, so you can see a little bit more up close how we've got it lined up here. Let's punch this out. Now you can use bigger pieces of cardstock, so you don't have to use the Post-it tape, but I hate to waste cardstock. I say like I save a lot of stuff, like I just wasted all that ribbon, right? But I try, I do try not to waste too much. All right, let's pop this up. All right, I think that's good. We're just gonna glue a little bit in the corner of our silver foil lid, right in the corner like that. Okay, sending a little luck your way. I'm just gonna put this side with some seal, and then I'm going to put a dimensional on the other side. See if we can get this kind of sort of even. All right, let's do the other half of that trim with silver this time. And we're just gonna make a little bow. There's somebody's dog outside barking. My dogs are so happy to be home again. Really stresses them out when they're boarded. Plus, I don't think they give them any treats. I don't think we even brought any treats for them. So, you know, they're just getting, they don't get the good stuff like when they're at home. The treats and the, you know, all the good things for your dogs they get at home. They're just getting like dry dog food at the boarding, which we do at the vet. All right, glue dot. And we'll just put our bow on the lid like that. Let's pop this whole thing up. And again, I didn't use any embellishments because there was a lot going on. So I just, you know, kind of left it the way it was. Not to say you couldn't add something of your choice. Ugh. Right in the middle. Okay. Pretty easy, right? I love the colors. All right, sending a little luck your way. Do you know anybody that needs a little luck sent their way? Yes, Lisa, they got a lot of treats when they got home, and they get their good dog food now too, and they're just happy, happy, happy to be home. And my babies. All right, you guys, here we go. Last card. This is the happy birthday card. You guys recognize this DSP? Okay, so I'm using for this one, I added this die right here, and this is from the Spotlight on Nature. So this is the one that has like little edge ridges on the edge. And then also from the Stylish Shapes dies, that banner again for happy birthday again. Hold on a second, I'm sitting on my leg. I need to not do that. Let me move up a little. Okay, pieces for the last card. Now this card has a lot of layers. All right, sorry, water break. So let's kind of go through all the layers. So this card base, I started with Granny Apple Green, and this is 7.5 by 5.5, and it's scored at 3 1/4. So 3 1/4 this way, it's scored like this. So it's almost like just cutting off, would you say like an, I don't know, 3/4 of an inch maybe off the side of a regular card base, right? So we have this open like that, okay? Now, on the inside, we're going to do some layers, some skinny layers. So I have Blueberry Bushel, and this is 4.5 by 5 3/8. And this is going to go right in here and make a nice skinny border for us, okay? Then this piece right here of the basic white is 5.5 by 4 1/4. So we're going to have another skinny border like this. And then this piece of DSP, I just cut like this, all right? So this piece right here it's the Full of Life DSP, and we've got 5 1/4 by 3 and 5 1/4 by 1, all right? So it's just like that. So this piece is gonna go here. Let's put all that down. Before we do that, do you guys remember this? Mine's kind of chopped up right here. This is that Full of Life DSP. I've used it a lot. I like the colors. They're very pretty. But this is the one you had all kinds of different patterns and blotches and squares. And, I mean, just really pretty, pretty colors. You kind of have these, like, starburst type ones in here. So, that's what we have for that. I wonder, do I have more of that? I hope I have some more of that. I'm going to have to check afterwards. I'm going to have to order some more. Okay. So let's put these layers on from the inside down first, and then we'll start working on the outside of the card. So let me line it up so we have that skinny border like that. Did I put anything? Okay. Before we put this down, we probably want to stamp it in case I mess that up. So I'm going to stop right there because this is going to have stamping, okay? All right, let's come back to this. We're going to do the borders here too. So let me go over just the measurements really quick. We're doing the same thing as the inside. We have blueberry bushel, and this time it's 5 3/8 by 3 1/8. And then this piece, we already talked about the measurements for that. So that one's going to go right there. Okay. All right, let's stamp, and then we'll do the rest of the pieces. All right, so this is going to be for our jar and our candles. This is going to say happy birthday. And on this one, we did that stamp set again that says sending a little blank your way. Okay, let's do the easy part and do the happy birthday. And I'm doing that in Melon Mambo. All right, we've got our nice little happy birthday. All right, we can leave that open because we're going to have a couple of open ink pads. All right, black memento. And this, when we put this white on, this is, the border's going to go here. So I'm just going to put it here so we can center the rest of it when we stamp, just as a guide. So let's stamp that right about here. This time we're going to say party and do that in the Melon Mambo. All right, so there we go. That's what's going to be on the inside there. Okay, let's do our jar. Now this one's a little bit trickier for me anyway. I'm going to stamp the jar like we have been. Now, we're going to go through and do all the candles. So, the first thing I'm going to do, okay, I've got 2 candle stamps. This one has 3, this one is a single. I'm going to start all the way to the side and do the single one all the way over in Melon Mambo. Okay, there's one. All right, next, I want this to be a couple different colors. So I'm going to do 2 of the blueberry bushel here, and on this side, I'm going to do Granny Apple. And I don't think I need to tape anything off for this. Hopefully, if I just do the edges, I can get it right. So I'm just going to do the edge of the first candle right here. You can kind of see how I picked up that green on there. And then blueberry bushel for the other 2. I'm just going to flip that around and try and put these 2 right here. Okay. All right, next I'm going to do a single in Daffodil Delight. Whoops, hold on. Dropped my cleaning pad on the ground. Gotta get it back. Hold on, I'm under my desk. Okay. All right, what did I do with my other stamp? Here it is. Okay. Daffodil Delight. Kind of close right there. Now, I did pumpkin pie. And this time I wanted to just do the striped part. So I am going to do some taping off, okay? Did I make it a little more complicated than it needs to be? Yes, probably. But I like the different colors. That's all I'm going to say is I like the different colors of it. All right, so you can see I used my little Post-it tape. All I have sticking out now is that one striped candle, and I'm going to do that in pumpkin pie. And pull this off. And put this one kind of like a little bit of an angle here. All right, so far so good. Can you see how we're doing here with our colors? All right, next I'm gonna do another straight one in melamine. I feel like I'm running out of room. I don't know. I might be heavy on this side. All right, 2 more. And this time I'm going to tape off again. And I think I threw my other piece out. Do another striped one. This time in Granny Apple. So again, I've just taped along the side. I'm going to ink it up, pull off my piece, and all right, last one, going back to the single, I'm going to do that in Blueberry Bushel. Then I can go ahead and close up all these ink pads before something bad happens. Okay, I almost kind of ran out of room there, but I think we're okay. So there we go. There's all our different colored candles. All right. Okay, next I'm gonna take this, and there's 2 different ones you can use. I've got this one, which is, it's a little flame that has the things going around it, and that's the one I chose. There's also one that just has the flames and not the little, like, what do you call it around them? The little rays of light around the candle flame. So I'm just trying to line these up so the flames look like they're actually on the wicks. And it's a lot, but a couple more. Last one. Okay. Can you kind of see that? All right. All right, let's cut that out. Before we take that out, I have this piece of silver. Now, what I ended up doing on this one is I ended up using a stamp from the other set. I don't know why I mixed up my sets like that. I probably had them both out while I was stamping. So the Jar of Joy has this one right here. You can just do a regular silver one if you want, but let me just show you this in case you want to do this one. I'm using the Stays On the silver. So let's see. Hold on, too many stamps. Like I said, I think I had almost all of them. Did I even get that one out? Let's see. I did. Let's see if I can find it. Here it is. You can see it's got an outline. So I'm going to do that in the Stays On. Now again, if you don't have the Jar of Joy one, you don't have to do that. You can just make it plain silver. Okay. I'm going to let that dry for a minute because it takes just a little bit longer for the Stays On to dry on these things. Let me clean off my hands one more time. All right. More punching. Excuse me. We'll do this last because I want to make sure it's dry before I mess it up. Okay, next, a couple layers for the front. So I have this Granny Apple Green layer, and this one is 3 1/4 by 3 1/2. I have another Blueberry Bushel, and this is 3 3/8 by 3 1/8. And then I cut this piece out. Now I kind of just cut around the middle. I wanted this to be in the middle. So I cut part off here, and I ended up with 3 by 3 1/4 was the total for this. All right. And I think this will be cut for you if you get the kit. I'll have already cut this for you, so you don't have to play around with it too much. And then, like I said, this was just in Daffodil Delight, that circle die. All right, so that's going to go there. Okay, let's put it together. Who doesn't need a birthday card? I feel like I never have enough birthday cards. All right, this is going to go right to the edge on the white. Or it's supposed to go right to the edge on the white. Hold on. Let's see, where's my tweezers? Lift this up a little. Because I didn't quite get it quite straight. All right. There we go for the inside. Let's do our outside layers. Now you could skip layers too if you wanted to. You didn't want all these layers. But I like all the layers. They kind of bring all the colors together. All right. Let's layer this up. All right, put the circle. Let's put this on the circle. What do you guys think about candles in a jar? Just a little bit weird, right? But that's okay. Let's punch our last piece here. We'll add a little bit of glue. We're going to do a corner again. I feel like I need just one more tiny little dot under here. Okay. All right, pop it up. And put that right in the middle. We're going to put our happy birthday. We're just going to put on, if it needs any support, we can add it afterwards. Do I want, I can not have the bottoms of the candles show, that's okay, right? I might need a little bit right here, so let me get my minis. And I'm just going to place a couple of them. Just for a little support. So what do you think is going to be in the new catalog tomorrow when it comes out? I'm really curious. See what kind of fun Christmas stuff we'll have. I think we already have all the Halloween stuff we're going to have, right? Isn't that kind of what they did last year? But the Christmas, maybe some more fall stuff. Okay, so we're going to glue this right in the middle, right here. So I want to not go over the edge here with my adhesive. And then I'm going to add some extra so it sticks really well. All right, now we're going to use the other half of that Misty Moonlight in white. We're going to use the white ribbon this time. And we're going to tie it around. And then I think, won't we have a couple more kits as probably next week, right? At the beginning of the month, we'll have a couple more new kits. It's just, boy, the stuff just keeps coming and they keep having sales and It's all pretty awesome, right? I'm enjoying it. But I need time to use some of this product because I am not keeping up. I'm buying faster than I can create, right? That makes it tough. It's like, yeah, putting stuff on your plate. You think you're going to eat more food than you actually can. Okay, so we've got that. We're going to take, just for our embellishment, these beautiful little iridescent faceted gems and use some of these. A little sparkle on our card. We'll use another big one down here. If I can lift it. Like that. All right, you guys, that's it. That is our 4th card. I know, me too, Lisa. I do miss the days of lots of Halloween. Is it too early to do Halloween cards? Maybe I should do Halloween next week. I don't know. I've got to think about what I need to do. All right, you guys. Thank you. That's it. Let's bring out what we made. I hope you guys like these cards. I think they're fun. A nice variety of cards with this beautiful, stamp set. Getting lots of use out of the punch. So that's pretty fun. All right, so that's it. Here's our creations for tonight. Thank you guys so much for watching. Again, free kit with the $50 purchase or $22 without a purchase. And then if you would like the measurement sheet for this, I have one that'll go out in tomorrow's email. Thank you so much. This will go out in tomorrow's email if you're not on my email list, but you would like the directions. Just email me. I'll send them to you. I'm happy to do that. And then you'll have all the measurements to make these cards. Don't forget about Paper Pumpkin. I always like to plug Paper Pumpkin because it's so much fun. I thought for the Farmhouse Florals, they didn't really give, there's an extra stamp set. The coordinating die add-on. I don't think I ordered that yet. I keep meaning to. But then I found this picture too, and it says charming florals bloom in the most curious places. So I thought that was pretty fun. So I can't wait to see what that's all about. All right, you guys, thanks so much for joining me. I appreciate it. I will see you guys next Tuesday with something else. And have a good week, everybody. Try and stay cool. All right. Bye-bye.